Hello my lovely people, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks so much for clicking on my video today. We are talking life advice, mental health and just general tips on how to live a happier life. Now, when I've done these types of videos in the past, when I've given you advice, I've had a number of people messaging me, thanking me and just being particularly pleasant, whether that be they're going through something similar themselves or they just took something from the video and it really helped them. So I wanted to do another one because if you have seen my previous videos, you know last year particularly, mental health for me was not at its peak. I had a lot going on and I really had to work on ways that I could build up a different way of viewing life, and I just really changed my entire perception on life last year. And I think some of you will find these tips really helpful if you're just looking to be generally happier with your life. These tips will definitely help. I'm gonna start with like the main one that I use every single day, and in my opinion the most important out of the list. So if you do only end up watching part of this video, this is the tip that I'd really like you to sort of take away from this video. So my first tip for a happier life is being grateful, and I do not mean the typical manifestation grateful techniques of standing in the mirror in the morning and saying 3 things you're grateful for. If that works for you, brilliant, but for me it feels forced and it feels fake. It feels like I'm just trying to find things to be grateful for rather than it coming from a genuine place of gratefulness. So the way that I like to do it is when I find myself thinking negatively and I sit there, for example, oh, I've got to go to work today, instead of seeing it like I have to go to work today, I see it and think of it as I get to go to work today, because some people don't get to go to work. Some people aren't lucky enough to be in a job that I'm in, or aren't lucky enough to even have a job, struggling to find work, or they're just not in a situation where they can work. So that's how I tend to be grateful. I twist things that I'm viewing negatively and see them in a positive way. And you can use this in all types of negative situations. So you're sat in traffic on your way to work. Be grateful that you have a car and you're sat in traffic. You could be walking to work, you could be walking miles to work, you could be waiting for a bus that doesn't turn up in the rain. There's always something you can be grateful for in your situation, and starting to view life like that really changed things for me. It shifts you away from that negative thought and shifts you to something positive. It's really worked for me. It makes me feel a lot happier about my day to day. I'd say like I'm quite a positive person anyway, but it definitely helps me change my mood when I am thinking negatively. It's the way you got to look at it. Anything negative that you're viewing, oh, I've got to do this, I don't want to do this, oh, I've got to do it, just twist it into something positive and you'll start naturally doing it, and it'll really help build your mood and help you feel a lot happier about things, because instead of seeing those things as just negatives, you're seeing those things as positives, and that over time will literally build your happiness so much more. You'll be so grateful for everything and just so grateful for being here. I need to move those flowers because I wanted them in the shop because they're really cute and Easter and my housemate got them, but I keep knocking them. Number 2 is another one that has actually helped me live such a happier life because I'm less stressed. It's not worrying about things that are out of your control, and I'm still learning to do this. I'd say this is quite a hard one to do because if you're naturally quite an organised person, or you like things in a certain way, or you like to somewhat be in control, and you're faced with things that you're worrying about but aren't in your control, it is hard to step back and go, I'm not going to worry about that because I physically cannot control it. But that's what you need to start doing. I'll give you a great example of this. A few weeks ago when I did the Paris travel advice video, a couple of hours before it went up, I was putting music on for the start of the video where I was showing clips from when I was in Paris. I've never added music to a YouTube video before. I didn't know that they had to review it and it takes hours. And I was like, no, my video is going live in literally 2 hours. I was like, I don't have time for this. And I was stressing and I really had to sit there and think to myself, I need to stop worrying about it because I physically cannot control how fast YouTube are going to approve that video. There is nothing I can do. The video is still going to upload. It was just going to upload with the silent beginning because they wouldn't have put the music on yet, and it said that they would put it on, you know, when they approve it. I was just stressed because I was like, I really wanted to be perfect. I really enjoyed making the video. I was looking forward to it going live, and I just didn't want the first like 30 seconds to be just silence. But me worrying about it was not going to make YouTube look at it and review it any faster, was not going to help in any way. There was nothing I could do. Everything was out of my control. The video was up, everything was ready, thumbnail done, you know, the video was ready. It was literally just waiting for that approval. So I literally just sat there and said to myself, I need to stop worrying because it is out of my control. And that is what you need to be doing. You just look at it like, I can't do anything about that. The situation is what it is. It's out of my control. I need to stop worrying. And when you start looking at things objectively like that and going, that is actually out of my control. I can't change the outcome of that. There's nothing I can do to change the outcome of that. Therefore, it's not worth my time worrying. It frees up a lot of your mental time, and that helps you be happier because you're not stressing and focusing your energy on something that has absolutely nothing to do with you anyway. Fair enough, if you can change something and your actions can create a better outcome, of course worry about it, focus on it. But if everything you could possibly do would have no effect on whether there'd be a good outcome or a bad outcome, why spend your time worrying about it? You're just going to make yourself stressed and unhappy. Instead, just switch your focus onto things that you can change, things in life you can control. Worry about them. There's plenty of things to worry about in life. Worry about the things you actually can control and can change, rather than the things that you have no control over. This one is one that I see people say about all the time, and it's viewing your life through someone else's eyes. So you might not like something about yourself, you might not like something about your situation, there might be just something in your life that you're not happy with, but for someone else that might be just what they want. And it's sort of getting that different perspective, something you necessarily don't like, something you wish you had that you don't have, something you feel you're lacking. Someone is looking at the life you have now and is going, wow, I wish I had this, I had that. It's kind of just sort of stepping away, not focused on the things you don't have, and instead appreciating the things you already have. There's a lot of things that you will have that someone else won't have and they'll wish they have. And it's just getting into that pattern of recognizing what you have, appreciating it. My fourth tip for living a happier life focuses on the people in your life. Not everyone in your life is going to give you what you need. You need to understand that they therefore don't need to be in your life. If the people in your life are not giving you what you need, not giving you what you want, it's okay to let them go. And I know it's hard because some of these people you might have had in your life for years, and it's a hard thing to step back and go, that person is not giving me what I need. And sometimes you do have to look at it and go, they're not giving me what I need, someone else will. And step away from that person that's not giving you what you need. And I'm not saying give up on these people immediately, especially if you've been friends with this person, in a relationship with this person for a long time and they're a big part of your life. It's important to try and work on things before you just throw in the towel, but understand that if you've given this person a chance, 2 chances, and they're still not stepping up to the mark, and you've made it so clear, you said, I need A, B, C, and they're just not giving you that, and you've told them, and you've given them opportunity to give you what you need, and they're not doing it, it's okay to step away from that person and not have that person in your life. There will be someone, friendship wise, relationship wise, who will give you ABC without even needing to be asked. Not everyone is meant to be permanent in your life, and that's okay. Let people float in and out of your life, learn from them, learn what they gave you, learn from their actions, let them go and move on. If you're not getting what you need from people, you won't be happy, and that's the be all and end all of it. My fifth tip is be kind at every occasion. Now, this one doesn't have like a direct impact on your happiness, but eventually it kind of just improves your outlook. This is kind of what all these tips are about, is just improving your outlook on life and making sure you're in a position to be happy. But being kind at every occasion gives you the opportunity to make someone else's day, and even if you don't make someone else's day, you're not making their day worse. There is absolutely no benefit for you going through life not being kind at every opportunity. There is the opportunity to be kind, and just choosing that will just make you a better person and will make you happier. If you're constantly bringing people down, being horrible to strangers, being rude, that is not good for you. That's going to help build this sort of negative lifestyle around you. But if you're constantly being kind, smiling to strangers, being as helpful as you can, and looking at making other people happy, not just yourself, you'll suddenly feel a lot happier about life. And it's just a lot nicer place to live. If everyone was kind at every opportunity, even when you're having a bad day, imagine how much nicer the world would be. Literally, you could go out in the street and everyone be super friendly and super kind. I mean, there's always going to be people that weren't, but the more people that are kind and friendly to each other, the better the place and the happier everyone's life would be. Tip number 6, not taking life too seriously. I absolutely love this tip because it's kind of freeing when you start to think about life in this way. Everyone is so focused on themselves. Why are they going to care what you think? Let people judge you, let people say things about you. If they're going to be saying negative things about something you do, something you wear, anything, actions you've taken, if they're going to be mean about it, rude about it, let them. Why let someone else's opinion stop you from living the life that you want to? The fear of other people's judgment can really hold you back from things, and you just need to learn that life is so short. Don't take things so seriously. You get one life, live it how you want to. Ignore everyone else. It doesn't matter. If you're living a life that you want to, in a way that you want to, you'll be happy. My last tip kind of links in with tip number 7, learning not to care. My last tip was sort of learning not to care what people think and not taking life too seriously. This is more learning not to care about people's actions towards you. So if someone's going to be mean to you, rude to you, just learn to not care. If they want to be mean to you, let them. That's a reflection on them, not a reflection on you. You need to learn just to let go and just not care when people try and get you down, because people's words and comments, they can get you down and they can make you unhappy, but you can choose to let those words and comments hurt you, or you can choose to ignore them, move on from them. If you do end up on the side of it where someone's saying something negative, you just need to put yourself a step back and just remove the care. And as soon as you stop caring about what people say to you when it's negative, you will feel a lot happier. Tip number 8, stop comparing yourself to other people. Now, I mean this physically. Everybody is different. Every person is different, and if you're sitting there comparing yourself to social media or people you see in real life, you need to stop. You are going to see people online and in person that you deem as more attractive than yourself, prettier than yourself, but what that doesn't mean is you need to sit and compare yourself to them. You don't. In your opinion, someone is more attractive, but that does not take away from you. Everyone's different and it makes you special. You've got to remember that you see yourself every day. You see yourself in the mirror. You're so used to your face, your body. There's no one in this world that will see your face and body more than yourself. So what that means is you notice the scars that you've got. You notice the imperfections that you see a lot more because you're seeing them on the daily or regularly, whereas someone else doesn't see that every day. They're not going to focus on it as much as you are. You're only focusing on it because you're seeing it so often, and that's the issue. I'm just going to close my blind because that is like blinding me, the reflection from my car. Well, now it looks really dark in here, but unfortunately that was actually like blinding me, the sun bouncing off my car, so we're going to have to deal with this slightly dimmer light. But as I was saying, you see your flaws all the time and other people don't. So you're going to focus on those imperfections that you see. You're going to focus on those flaws that you've got but other people aren't going to. You're comparing yourself to someone, but you're looking at them how they'd look at you. You're not seeing their flaws, just like they wouldn't see your flaws. You're only focusing on them because you see those minor imperfections every day. That's why you need to stop comparing yourself to other people. Obviously, I could drone on about social media being like a highlight reel, but we all know that. We all know things are airbrushed. We know it's not real, but in real life, when you do see someone who you feel is more attractive than you, just understand that they're dealing with their own flaws. They have their own imperfections that they realise. You just don't realise it because you're looking at them objectively, but they're doing the same to you. So stop comparing yourself. Tip number 9, very similar to tip number 8, except we're looking at people's lives. You need to stop comparing your life to other people's lives. It is so important because this will drag you down if you do, and it's hard. This is another hard one that you need to learn to do. Probably harder than the physical appearance, because physical appearance, if you see something you like on someone else, you can change your appearance. If you like someone's blonde hair, you can go dye your hair blonde. If you appreciate someone's body, someone has a more athletic body, you can go to the gym and work on that. Whereas the position of your life, that is less easy to change depending on what you want. You don't need to be looking at your friends, at people your age, seeing the point in life that they're at and thinking that you should be at that same point. You do not need to be. Everyone is going to go through life at different speeds, and that is so important to understand. You are going to be really unhappy if you look at other people's lives continuously going, I feel like I should be at that stage. Why am I not at that stage when other people are? For example, buying a house. Every time I open Instagram, Facebook, some sort of social media, someone else is buying a house. I, however, am not buying a house. And for me, I have learned that that is completely fine. I'm at a different stage of life than them. I do not need to be looking at them going, oh God, should I be buying a house? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? No. You just can't spend your life comparing it to other people. People from school, your friends. People are going to go through life at a completely different speed to you. In your 20s, it's particularly hard because you're seeing people doing so many major things in life, major events, getting engaged, getting married, having children, buying houses, going traveling, getting big promotions. You're seeing it constantly on social media. But I'm telling you now, you need to stop looking at that and thinking that's where you need to be. Or everyone's doing some sort of big life event and that means that you need to be. You don't. You are on your own path in life, and you don't need to be comparing your life to someone else's. They have their life, you have your life. Things will come to you when they're meant to come to you, just like they've come to them when it's meant to come to them. There's no rush. Everyone's time scale's different. Enjoy the days you've got now. Enjoy whatever point you're at now and stop looking ahead and thinking, oh, everyone's buying a house. I can't wait till I can buy a house. I can't wait till I can do this. I can't wait till I have a child. Whatever it is that you're comparing, you'll get there eventually. Enjoy the time you've got now. Enjoy the lead up to it. Just stop the comparison, because you will drive yourself crazy looking at other people's lives and wishing you were at that stage. Appreciate the stage you're at now and you will feel a lot happier and a lot of stress relief. You don't need to be competing to keep up with your peers. Now my final tip, tip number 10, kind of links with the last tip. I feel like these last three are just sort of like almost one from another, if that kind of makes sense, like they follow one. But take life slowly. There is so much pressure on people at the minute to constantly be doing something, and a lot of it's to do with the hustle culture. At the minute, people seem to be encouraged to have 2, even 3 streams of income, and I get that. We are living in a situation where sometimes one income does not cover your needs, and understandably you therefore need to find a second stream of income, whether that's a second job, a side hustle, something else. You're needing to spend more time on a second way of building an income. I completely understand that, and I have no negativity towards that. People have got to do what they've got to do. But what I mean when I say the negativity side of this side hustle is, I feel like we're being encouraged to live a constantly fast life, and we're not taking a step back by continuously doing something, working on something, being encouraged to have this hobby, that hustle. I feel like we're running so fast that we're not taking time to slow down and appreciate life and it's just going so fast. My tip to be happier is to slow down at times. And I know it's hard because, like I've said, if you do need a second stream of income or whatever to survive, it's hard to take that step. There's a lot of good things in your life, spending time with your friends, spending time with your family. Some people are really letting those aspects slide because they're so focused on planning for the future, planning for this, planning for that. And I get it, everyone needs a plan for the future, and I'm not disregarding that. But what I am saying is, I guess, sort of looking at life as in, you're not guaranteed the next day. And I know that is so morbid, but living this fast-paced life all the time, forever focusing on the future, focusing on this, focusing on that, it's important to focus on the future and plan ahead. But sometimes you do need to take a step back and appreciate what you've got, because morbidly, you're not guaranteed that future. So you need to create the happiness in your life while you have it. And I know it is so morbid. Some people probably think it's a really weird outlook to have, but I can't help it. Not everything's guaranteed in life, and that's why I'm saying take life a bit slower at times and find the happiness in the life that you've got now. It's lovely to hustle, it's lovely to plan for a future, but you've got to take a step back and just appreciate what you've got now and enjoy what you've got now. But yeah, that's the end of my tips and advice on how to be happier. I mean, a lot of them are focused on just being grateful and appreciative of what you've got now and appreciating what you have now. I hope these tips have sort of helped you get a bit of a different perspective on life and have helped you sort of think about your own life and think about what you have now and what you can be appreciative now. But yeah, I hope this has helped someone. I hope you've taken at least one point from today's video. But anyway, thank you ever so much for watching, and I really hope to see you here for my next one.